Okay, my friends, welcome to my stream. We will play my favorite visual novel game, visual novel app, Romance Club. We will play a story, sci-fi thriller. Yes, you can see it's sci-fi and thriller. Uh, see, after a genetic storm, society has been split into the pure ones with full rights and second rate citizens. A young woman with psionic abilities is searching for answers. Does blood alone determine your humanity? It's just very interesting. One of my favorite story. So let's start to play and read again. Restart. Yeah, let's restart. I hope my stream will work good. Let's just start. Please read at your own discretion. Okay, read the disclaimer, my friends. Read the disclaimer, please. Be ready for an interesting story. Oh, that's cool. The characters in this story are fictional. Their actions and views on social phenomena may be objectionable and don't reflect the developer's views. The stories contained is intended exclusively for entertainment. So let's have fun, my friends. Oh my god. God is a united spirit, reflected in nature and all the cults of antiquity. This is what led to these catastrophic consequences: a lack of strict control over all research and work in the field of genetics. Henry. Not their kind. The young woman looked around. Bored, she stared at her reflection in the mirror. Choose your physique. Okay, more athletic. I want to be a strong woman, of course. And this is my favorite. Yeah, you can see all the girls that we can choose. I think this one is interesting. Like, she looks like a James Bond woman's version, but my favorite girl is this one. She is amazing. I will choose her and will choose this hair. Continue. I don't know Mirai vibes. Will it be good or bad? I just will play. If someone was watching her from the other side, she couldn't feel it. She wasn't an empath. But the table and the chairs secured tightly to the floor, those were for her, because of people like her. It was chilly. Lou put on her hoodie and waited. Thanks for follow. The door to the interrogation room opened. Yes. The person who entered clearly wasn't afraid of her. He sat opposite of her and set a folder on the table. Mademoiselle Lou Reed. You know who I am, Monsieur Policeman. Why do you have to ask? Ignoring her tone, the man said, Bernard, but you should address me as Monsieur Interrogator. I'll keep that in mind. It's my first time being interrogated. There is a first time for everything. She cringed at his platitude, not even bothering to look respectful. Hi, welcome. For example, this is also my first time interrogating a telekinetic psionic. Looking into his eyes, Lou thought. Not surprising. Other people deal with us. If it had been something commonplace like a drunken brawl, then yeah, it would have gone to the police. But police interrogators don't get dragged into things like this. Ham scratched his graying stubble and said, "Shall we talk?" Lou didn't answer. Cigarette? You're about to make a choice. Choose wisely. Every choice will influence the story to a greater or lesser extent. Okay, now we should make a decision. Will we make her a smoker or we will not make a smoker from her? I was playing that novel 3 times. It's one of my favorite novels, and I made her I never made her a smoker, but now I want to make her a smoker because I never played like this. But I don't smoke cigarettes. I hate it. But I want to try. On this game, of course, not in life. Thank you. The interrogator produced a thin plastic cylinder from his chest pocket. Lou sighed. How to pronounce this word? I don't know. An imitation? What? The same taste and smell, but not as harmful. Yeah. And the synthetic food is like real food too. Yeah, in this story they have synthetic food, by the way. Ham smirked, put the e-cigarette away, and pulled a pack of normal cigarettes from his other pocket. Well, our tastes agree on something then? Good. I hope we will be able to have a friendly conversation too. Her hands, which has been left free, and the man's smile were probably meant to encourage an open disposition. But she remembered who she was talking to. Shall we start? He wasn't going to write anything down. The cameras in the corners under the ceiling were recording everything. Did you study at co-ed boarding facility number 2? Look at my personal file and I graduated from it. Look at my personal file. Everything's there. I'm trying to be polite, Mademoiselle Reed. She leaned back in the chair. Yes, number 2. How were you placed in the facility? Lou answered in a bored voice. A typical situation. A family conflict with my stepfather. In a state of high emotional agitation, I unintentionally threw a nightstand at him. He sustained a moderate injury, a bone fracture. How old were you? 13. Was the nightstand heavy? I couldn't have lifted it with my hands. Had your psi abilities manifested before that? No, or I didn't notice. She glanced at a camera. Others would be annoyed by someone rummaging through their childhood, but people like her were forced to get used to it quickly. Did they place you in the facility right away? No. Were you happy about your abilities, the possibility of putting them to use? Lou breathed out a stream of smoke and light. I don't remember. She asked as casually as she could. Monsieur Interrogator, was I brought here to indulge in nostalgia? We will get to the reason you are here. Ham Bernard looked into his folder and flipped through it. Are you in contact with your social group from the boarding facility? Two days earlier. Is everything okay with music, my friends? Lou stepped out of the bathroom. The sun had just set. There was plenty of time before the meetup. Some options can only be purchased with diamonds. They can unlock special outfits, grant access to exclusive scenes, or affect how other characters feel about you. Try it now. She opened a drawer and pulled some clothes out. In this history, if you choose a diamond outfit, you will also get the free outfit as a gift. You will be warned about any exceptions. Hello, Andres, welcome. Okay, knit cardigan, transparent jacket, and cable knit sweater. Of course, I like black clothes very much. So, I will choose this. I really love the style in this story, by the way. Messy black bun, messy blonde bun, or ash with knit hood. Okay, let's choose this, and I like, in this situation, I like blonde hair for some reason. Let's wear these clothes. How are you, Andres? Welcome. You can change your outfit and hairstyle at any time by tapping the wardrobe button on the menu bar at the top. Lou took her headphones and glanced at her electric motorcycle. The free outfit has been added to your wardrobe. I'll walk. Go to the bar, choose a different track, leave the first track playing. I like this track, I will leave it, so I will go to the bar. Her apartment building was at the edge of termitory. Pure people didn't live here, only genetically unstable ones. Most of the locals were either asleep already or staring at their screens. However, the streets weren't empty at night. A different scene would emerge. Gangs, prostitutes, junkies, and psionics. You could find these people during daylight hours, but they preferred the nightmare. The nighttime. The nightmare. Each for their own reason. Some young hoodlums moved in the thick shadows that the neon lights couldn't disperse. Lou walked a little faster. Not out of fear, she just didn't want trouble. The music is okay, my friends? Tell me if it will be too loud or... Okay? As she turned the corner, the lights of the center came into view. Far away. The most loyal and true people, the pure ones, lived there. That's where the real money was, too. One day Lou would make it. A new bike. Pay off the apartment and furnish it. Damn it. Understandable, Lou, understandable. One day. She had a plan. All she needed was some luck. Another turn and Platypus's sign appeared ahead. As expected, there were open tables. First of all, Platypus wasn't the only decent bar in the area. Second, aside from psionics, not many people in Termitory could afford a decent bar. And finally, many psionics preferred working at night. That included Jonas, who noticed her and waved. Lou approached the table and heard her fellow group member grumbling. Doggone, why the hell are we gathering at this hour? This is right during my hottest time. It's bad manners to hit the bottle during the day. Hey Lou. She took a seat. Hi. We are drinking? What are we celebrating? I got a bonus. Dogan was the oldest of their group. He had finished his time at the facility earlier, so he had been working for a long time already. He was in good standing with emergency services. His psi abilities, or psi, I don't know, abilities having advanced from the initial 5th stage to the 4th stage. Just like Lou, Dogan was a telekinetic. What was the bonus for? A drunken brat hit a pole in his car. There he is, bleeding and pale, but he can't get out. The car is mangled. I straightened it out as usual. It would have taken them a long time without telekinesis. Long story short, they gave me a commendation and some money. Sounds like it wasn't just a kid. Some inquisitor's son. Jonas grimaced. And he will face no consequences. The Church of Unity preaches how everyone should live, but they don't practice it. What a bunch of assholes. Do you want to get into this again? Yes, because enough. Some choices change Lou's personality. Some increase her impulse. She will take a more spiritual outlook on life. Others increase her control. She will value the material aspects more. Consider the type of character you'd like her to be. Jonas, don't be so negative. I get enough of this shit at home. When my neighbor gets drunk, he argues with his TV so loudly that I can hear it through the wall. Just relax, okay? Okay. He raised his hands disarmingly. Moving along, okay? Dogan twisted the cap of the bottle and poured its contents into 3 glasses, smirking. You treat all kinds of tricks yourself. They drank. Lou glanced at Jonas. He coughed and reached for water. He didn't know how to drink, contrary to the prevailing wisdom about doctors. Although Jonas hadn't received his diploma, so he couldn't be written off just yet. He was studying to a doctor while working as a nurse at that local hospital. He only used his psi abilities to heal patients as a last resort. Otherwise, his health would be falling by now. But Jonas already had a couple of scars. It was tough for healers. Hello, welcome, Forest of Wires. Didn't they invite you to the center? Maybe if you took them up on it, you'd see things differently. There are enough doctors without me, and I will only help a rat from the church if they make me. You're quite vicious for a doctor. Damn it, should I leave? That was it, sorry. The hottest time Jonas had mentioned was a night for a reason. During the night, all sorts of antisocial characters would come to hospitals seeking help. Patients with knife and sometimes even gunshot would appreciate those who could tend to their wounds without ratting them out to the police. Hey, welcome. How are you? The unlicensed prostitutes that were occasionally beaten by low lives, repaid Jonas in their own way. Okay. But Lou never got into the details. It was none of her concern. All she knew was that the hospital staff appreciated Jonas for his willingness to work night shifts. She sympathized with her friend. Healers had to pay a greater price for their psi abilities than the others. They took a part of their patient's trauma or illness when healing. Another round? Sure. Yeah. The brewing argument forgotten, Dogon poured them another one. Wow. Aren't we waiting for the others? Tom and my sis are on their own day. The psionic facilities created social groups to keep students involved in society. Including Jonas, there were two more in Lou's group. A guy named Tom who'd recently started going out with the healer's sister, a common and stable girl, and Tina, the youngest. Did Kira ask to go with you? Yeah, she's upset, but she's too young to hang out in bars like this. I wasn't objecting. Tina's abilities emerged very early, and her family had immediately handed her over to the specialists. She hadn't wanted to stay at the facility any longer than necessary, so she graduated with her group. Her age prevented her from serving the community, so she was busy trying to mend her relationship with her family. Posing as a good kid and looking to her parents for signs of, who fucking knows? Love, I guess. It's not really working out. Lou didn't have much advice to offer about it, and Tina didn't have other girlfriends. She slept over at my place again last night. Lately, the young psionic had been striving to be around her social group and Dogon more than ever. These parents of hers, if they didn't have their eyes on her as a future source of income, I doubt they would have taken her. The healer patted his pockets and looked at his friends. Got smokes? Yeah. She produced her cigarettes, lit one for herself, and pushed the pack across the table. Thanks. I forgot mine at hospital. The cigarettes had decent tobacco in them. There weren't many left, but it was Jonas. Lou would never consider being stringly with him, even though it hurt to think about money. The bike really needed a new battery, and the tires had almost gone bald. She could only see one solution to her financial problems. I should tell them. Oh, Jonas is not going to like this. What do you guys want to eat, Lou? I don't know, but I'm hungry. Are you sure you want to pay the tab? Yeah, Papa Inquisitor was generous. Why don't we go for natural chips? Okay, and a steak each? Awesome. Dogon raised his hand, attracting a waiter's attention. So you keep in touch? And what do you think of the other psionics? Once in a while, you will reach a fork in the story. The path that Lou follows will depend on whether you have accumulated more impulse or control. What kind of questions are these? Does someone get paid to come up with them? The interrogator ignored her sarcasm, and silently waited for an answer. Yeah, I also like the soundtrack. It's amazing. I think well of the normal ones and badly of the morons. Describe your attitude toward the pure ones in the world, in one word. Humans. The unstable ones. Humans. Very well. Let's talk about your decision to go to the assistant's corpse. Lou reached for the ashtray on the table and flicked her nail against the cigarette. All the time cigarette she's smoking now. Ooh. Oh my god, she's having a cigarette in her hands. You see that, Lou? You really have a cigarette in your hands. Oh my god. Oh, so cute. What are you interested in? I'll be right back. Jonas got up, then swayed, grabbing onto the table. It's cool, I'm okay. The healer walked over to a girl who was sitting alone at the board. Duggan grinned and called after him. She will tell you off. Jonas casually flipped off his friend without turning to look at him. Duggan turned to Lou. And how are you doing? Huh? Did you get a referral? Yeah, to a mine out west. I turned it down. I don't want to leave the city. It's out in the middle of nowhere. Why do we have a spot, should I ask? It's an okay option. If you drag things out, they will make you go to a shithole like that. He lifted his hands as though awaiting the options. Jonas returned. The stranger had clearly told him to hit the road. Pour me a drink. Lou doesn't have a job. That's my girl living the antisocial life. You can beat up strangers for money using your telekinesis. Of course, they will lock you up, but at least your conformist spirit will remain unbroken. It's not funny. She turned down her referral. Yeah. Yeah, Mirai vibes. I'm not laughing. Lou, what's with the face? Well, actually, I have decided where I'm going. And that would be... I'm going to try to get into the corpse. Jonas breathed out. Damn. Wow. Are you insane? That was about the reaction Lou had expected. Do you want to serve those Inquisition bastards? Jonas, cut it. Someone could hear. The healer, not one to hide how he felt about the church and feeling bolder after a few drinks, hissed. I don't give a shit. Lou, you'll have to kill on Unity's order there. That isn't what the corpse does. I mean, not just that. It will be small stuff at first, just catching young hoodlums. But then some junkie starts shooting and you will have to answer in kind. Jonas, what? Am I wrong? She will get more experienced and sooner or later have to kill someone like us. The corpse works for the Inquisition. The Inquisition catches psionics. Lou specified. Okay, Henry. Criminals. Are you brightening up the laws now, Lou? The ones that the church and the pure ones forced on us? They look down on us and they are afraid of us. Or do you mean the laws that don't give a shit about unstables? But we are not their kind, just like we are not the others' kind. And the unstables are jealous and afraid of us. Stop it, people like that are minority. And that minority doesn't hide their attitude. Does that go for your sister too? Don't twist it around, Dogon. Yes, there are excep- exceptions. There are more among the unstables. But then there are people like Kito's parents. But they aren't even who I'm talking about. The Inquisition catches our undesirables and either kills them or you know where it sends them. Are you about to go on a rant about the eugenics programs, the organ studies, and all that? Doctors talk about a lot of stuff. Will these doctors give me money too? I don't want to spend my whole life saving drunk teenagers so I can eat synthetics. Wow, thanks. Sorry, Dogon. It's normal, but I don't want to live that way. The labs provide us with food and medicine, but even I have doubts about your deal. Working for the corpse is a dangerous job. You will have to apply your seriously there, even to the point of bloody tears. Your eyes are going to leak out. Doggone. Now you are the one spreading rumors. Have anyone's eyes actually leaked out? Kerem's the limbs? He lost his vision from a burn. A perikinetic? An idiotic one. That's how he got famous. But the burn was chemical. A factory was burning and a barrel with some nasty stuff exploded. Jonas, can your eyes leak out from psi? I can't think of any confirmed causes, though it's not really healthy in general. If you overwork yourself, it's possible to go blind, I guess. I will have to overwork myself anywhere if I want to earn decent money. Jonas looked away, sulking. Lou winced. I know, but I need money. What do you need it for? New tires? How much? Let me help you. And you will help my mother too? How long are you going to sponsor us? I want to live a decent life, like the people in the center, not saving up for food. Is that strange? Should I remind you where the Inquisition's name came from? Remind me? It's Latin for investigation and searching. The Catholic used it as a procedure in the Middle Ages. They had round up the people their church considered objectionable. You can't draw the parallels, right? They went after those who thought differently. That was a long time ago. People are different now. Only genetically, and only some of them. You are exaggerating. Back when psionics first appeared, they were actually killed, and it was the church who stopped it. They forced us into serving society and then set the Inquisition on the ones who disagree. We are branded like cattle. Lou touched the tattoo on her right wrist involuntarily, a small letter C. Dogon, Jonas, and other psionics had matching tattoos. Those aren't things you do to an equal. We are servants for the pure ones, Lou. It's forced and yes, it's unpleasant, but it's a necessary arrangement, like a godly sense. And serving is just the church's pompous way of putting it. Are you trying to convince me or are you trying to convince me or yourself? Go ahead, lecture me on how the plants changed the genetic storm. Tell me about how New Paris only exists through the unification of the cults of faith and science, about how we might be the last humans on Earth. I remember all the stuff from our lessons back at the facility. I did better on my history exams than most. Then you know that as the church influence grows, order and security grow with it. There are new food factories, fields of grain. The people in the Inquisition are much more principled. Principled. And less corrupt than the police. They are fanatics. I'll say it again. I disagree with you, Jonas. Working for the assistance corps is a good thing, but it's dangerous. Think it over, Lou. What if you get killed? She shook her head. Damn it. Thanks. You guys are so supportive. Both of them were her friends, and sometimes they had completely ruined her mood as friends do. Lou, you have 5th stage C abilities. As far as I'm aware, the 4th stagers are paid well by the corps. I'm borderline. I have asked around. The candidates are tested right there for free. I see, so you want to prove you're a 4th stage? When? Tomorrow. She pulled her phone out, looked at the time, and got up. Today, I mean. Are you upset? Not a chance. I have to get up early in the morning. Lou was angry at herself. She couldn't say the healer was completely wrong, at least about the possible messiness of the work. Yes, Dogan is good, but Dogan is not a love. He's just a friend. And with Jonas, we can make relationship. And he is my favorite boy here, by the way. I tried everyone. I played with everyone, every love story. And Jonas, he's my favorite. So we will replay with Jonas again. She couldn't say the healer was completely wrong, at least about the possible messiness of the work. That made her even angrier. She tried to think like Dogan, who had received a high rating from the facility instructors in his file under the heading of anticipated loyalty. But that was the thing. She had to try really hard. Jonas's views and behaviors, with his presumably satisfactory rating, weren't that foreign to Lou. She walked across the room. Dogan called out, Lou! What? If you go, good luck at the test. Uh-huh. Jonas raised a glass to her. She turned away again and bumped into an unfamiliar man. A sandwich slipped out of his fingers. Cheese and lettuce leaf fell on the nearest chair, and the bread smacked onto the floor. So much for eating, Lou muttered. You should eat at a table, not under people's feet. Is that your way of saying sorry? If he had started complaining, she would have left without saying a word, but his smile was nice. Sorry. She looked near her feet. Crap, the bread is natural. She considered how much money she had left and offered. I'll pay for it. Don't forget it. He stepped away. What a wonderful end to the night. Lou wasn't lying to her friends. She did have to get up early, but she didn't want to go home or return to Jonas and Dogan. Before leaving, she decided she at least needed another drink. She approached the bar and pointed to a cheap drink with a colorful label. The bartender set the bottle and a glass in front of her. She didn't touch the bottle, lost in her thoughts. Psionics didn't have that many options. The first and rarest was living like a normal, genetically unstable person, hiding their abilities. It was too late for Lou. She was already registered. The second option was the most popular. In her case, it was working in places that were hard to reach with equipment or performing tasks that required precise, quick telekinesis. With Dogon, for example, it pays decently. I guess I'd have enough to repair and maintain my bike. I'd have to forget about buying a new one. And I could forget the natural food too while I pay for the apartment. The third option was getting involved with criminals. But she wasn't a healer. She wouldn't be able to walk the line like Jonas. I'd get killed like that for sure, sooner rather than later. Either the competition or the police or the Inquisition. Drink. All she had left was the assistance corps, the church security force reporting directly to the Inquisition. Although the New Paris authorities involved the corps whenever things got difficult. Supporting the police intermediary, guarding the bosses from the center as they evaluated the medical control points in the meeting town. What if someone decided to rob a pure one? Preventing sabotage, dispersing protesters. This option was the only ticket to the good life. Even better if you worked with the inquisitors directly. Jonas is right. One day I will have to take part in the arrest of someone whose guilt is unclear. Maybe an undesirable, or maybe I will have to kill Psionic. All kinds of people graduated from the facilities, including assholes and thieves. In that sense, Lou didn't think they were any different from other people. All the same time, the Inquisition dealt not only with psionics of hostile loyalty ratings, but also with the grave crimes committed against psionics. The security of the entire church and the implementation of its program fell under the Inquisition's jurisdiction. These included genetic security, without which human would have no future. And the Inquisition also replaced the police in special causes, which often led to conflicts and confusion. The agony of choice. She turned around. The guy she had left hungry was standing next to her. "Excuse you?" "I'm sorry. When we bumped into each other, I read your mood. You are very nervous. Sometimes I do it involuntarily. So you are an empath." "The name is Kay. Lou." What else did you read?" "Nothing." "Lucky, especially for you." She poured some more into her glass. This psionic smirked. "Bad night." "Are you reading me right now?" "Without touching you? How would I? Of course not." Lou glanced at Kay. "I have never really dealt with empaths. I don't remember the details." He looked at Lou's right wrist. "I see. A recent graduate?" She nodded. "No." The man frowned at the drink in front of her. "Are you sure you want to drink that? I don't think it's a good idea." "Who said I like good things?" "Oh, bad girl." Lou drank up and took the bottle, which was still more than half full. She twisted the cap on. I should be going home. It really looks like I'm upset with Jonas and Dogan now. Kay looked her over, considered something, and then asked, Want me to walk you home? She felt crappy, and she wanted to balance her bad mood with equally inappropriate and unhealthy decisions. Let's go. Hold on, bartender, 2 of these sandwiches and to go this time. Kay took the bag with the new sandwiches and simply said, Lead the way. Lou walked to the exit without saying a word, trying to avoid her friend's line of sight. Her head was spinning slightly. Yes, Mirai vibes. Kay is very cute and very nice person, but a relationship with him, they were boring for me. I already said I tried relationships with every man in this story. So, Kay was too perfect for me. It was boring and perfect relationship. In real life, maybe it's good, but in the story, when you read, it's not so interesting. From the middle of the story, it started to be very boring. Yes, but he is very nice. The fresh air had a sobering effect, but her mood remained the same. As they started walking, the empath looked around the street and asked, Do you go to Platypus often? Sometimes. Often? Often or often? Often. Is it always like that? Like what? Empty. What do you think? I think not. Lou chuckled, not answering. What kind of sea? Telekinesis. Impressive. Not yet. Can you do a lot of stuff? Some. Come on in. Kay nodded at the bike. Do you always bring it in? Yeah, otherwise it had been dismantled by the morning in this neighborhood. But it's a big apartment, at least. He looked around. It's spacious. An apartment like this doesn't come cheap. And you graduated recently. Did you find a good job? Don't answer if you don't want to. It's too personal a question. It's okay. She produced 2 mismatched glasses from a kitchen cupboard. How do you say it? Received an I lured drunk people in. Oh my god. Okay, I want to joke. Well, yeah. For example, you buy natural bread, so you are not broke. There is one problem. I'm pretty much sober. Lou filled the glasses and offered one to him. Drink. Kay sniffed the liquid skeptically. Keep me company. I don't want to drink alone. The empath opened the bag. At least eat. Stop fussing. Take a seat. She pointed at the boxes around the table and sat on the bed. You're sleeping on pallets. So, do you have a problem with it? No, it's just unusual. She chewed a bite of sandwich and took a gulp from her cup. Gulp. Kay drank too. He didn't wince or comment on the taste. Lou leaned back on her elbows and started at the ceiling. Her head was starting to spin again. There was silence. Then Kay, looking at her attentively, asked in a calm voice, "Aren't you scared of taking someone you don't know home just like that?" Lou looked into his eyes. "Aren't you scared of going home with someone you don't know just like that?" He smirked, little creases appearing at the corners of his eyes. The cheap alcohol clearly contained some chemicals to enhance the effect. As they were discussing platypus lazily, Lou thought in passing about the last time she had slept with someone. She asked herself if Kay seemed interesting to her. Then she shuddered and woke up. She looked around with no memory of having fallen asleep. The empty bottle was sitting next to the bed. Kay was in the same spot, quietly reading something on his phone. Lou found her own and checked the time. "It's morning already, crap!" She had found the balance she was seeking. The taste of her body matched the taste of her mind. Both felt supremely vile. Lou slowly got up, recoiling with... What is that word? Quasiness and a headache. Hey! She still couldn't recall exactly when or how she'd fallen asleep. Did we do anything? Damn it! She couldn't read anything in his eyes either. She walked toward the bathroom, not looking at Kay. "Get going." "Excuse me?" "Let's keep the pleasantries. I need to get ready. Shut the door on your way out." "Wow, okay." Lou is so... Ay. Lou washed her face with ice cold water and cleaned up, more or less, then dragged her bike outside. Kay was gone. Bye-bye, Kay. "Why did you decide to join the corps?" "To protect people." Of course. The interrogator shifted in his chair, looking at Lou pensively. "At the 5th stage, a big risk. At the 4th. The hologram asked, "Are you ready?" It was way too loud. Lou winced. "Yes." Approach the red line. Deform the first mannequin. She stepped up to the line. Lou has telekinesis, the ability to manipulate inanimate objects with her mind. One of its manifestations, form, allows her to deform and warp objects. Lou imagined she was holding a doll. She squeezed. The broken mannequin fell with a dull thud. Pull the next one to yourself. The other manifestation, vector, allows her to move objects in a straight line. For example, she can push, pull, or lift them. The instructor knew what to ask for. It was harder for most telekinesis to pull an object rather than pushing it away. Lou jerked her hand as if pulling the mannequin closer by an imaginary rope. The plastic figure fell to the floor. Good demonstration of the 5th stage. Are you ready to confirm the 4th stage? I am. Final target. Exert maximum influence as you see fit. Lou develops her abilities by using telekinesis. Some choices improve form, while the others improve vector. Crush the mannequin's head, throw the mannequin back. Second variant. The third target proved to be Tal. Fuck. I don't know how to read it. Okay. Talther. Talher. Gur. The psionic tensed, pushing her hands through the air in front of her. Victor. The mannequin was turned from its mount and thrown against the wall. More confidently, please. The plastic scraped across the vertical surface. Thank you. Lo felt a sharp pain in her eyes, rubbed her eyelids carefully. Fuck. Are you alright? I am. You have passed the test. Confirmation of the 4th stage has been recorded. You acceptance into the assistant course will be decided by the end of the day. You will receive a call. That's it? The voice from the speaker lost its official tone. Of course, mademoiselle. All the necessary information is in your personal file and your application. Exit the test hall. They will see you out. As Lou stepped outside, the light stung her eyes. She felt something wet and warm on her face. Touching her eyelids, she muttered, "Damn it! You have strained yourself." The inquisitor who had stopped in front of her wasn't asking her. She was stating a fact. Judging by the guards next to him, it was someone from the upper echelon. Lou didn't care why a man like this would personally come to the corpse. All she cared about was hiding her eyes from the sun as quickly as possible. "Good morning. Take this." He produced a pair of dark shades from his inner pocket. He nodded to the corpse building entrance. "Put them on. Leave them with the officer on duty later." "No need, thanks. I'm on a bike." "The helmet has tinted glass." The inquisitor hid the shades, nodded, and went inside. Squinting her eyes, Lou walked the short distance to her bike. Well, Ham Bernard tapped his fingers on the table. "Let's get to why we're talking here now." "Finally. Let's talk about Monsieur Stone." "Who?" The interrogator opened the file again, producing a tablet. "Don't pretend, mademoiselle, read." He turned it on and showed the screen to Lou. Monsieur K. Stone. Take a look. Tell me about your intimate connection with him, and most importantly, how and why did you kill him? Complete episode. Okay. Do you want one more episode, my friends? I make a lot of mistakes when I read, but I want to read. I want to show you this interesting story. Will we play one more episode? What do you want it? Okay, you write me something and I will come back after 1 minute. You read really good, actually pronounce everything well. Oh, very pleasant to hear that. Okay, wait for me. I will come back as soon as I can.